Today we're going to be taking a look at the Kensei in For Honor. Kensei in For Honor is a very easy vanguard in For Honor, and I honestly enjoy her kit the most. I mean, using her soft paint heavies are really good. Yeah, this is an updated guide for Kensei, so if you do enjoy today's video and it does help you, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more, but let's get straight into it. Alright, so with Kensei has a 3-hit chain within her kit, so you can do like light, or heavy. That's like 3 hits. Or you can do heavy and heavy into heavy, 3 hits again. It's mainly a 3-hit chain. That's one thing you want to know with Kensei. Alright, so the first move that we're going to be going over for Kensei is the palm strike. Now the way to do the palm strike is by throwing out a heavy and pressing X or guard break. So you just throw it heavy, or top heavy that is. You throw out a top heavy, go for X, which is basically guard break, and you go for a light right after. Now if you connect the palm strike, you get a guaranteed light. Now if you don't connect it, the opponent will parry it. So yeah, you want to be careful when trying to throw out the palm strike too much. You don't want to spam it too much. You want to use it in your mix-ups. So say like I go for zone, feint in the palm strike, and then I go for my light right after or whatnot. Just fake it out, go for something different if you can, and try to get the palm strike in there in your own mix-ups. Alright, next we're going to talk about the dodge attacks for Kensei. So we're going to talk about the 4 dodge attacks first. For the first 4 dodge attack, this is a 4 lights. It's called Helm Splitter. It does around 14 damage and costs 9 stamina. It's not bad. It's a good light attack that you can do to finish your opponent off if they're not expecting it. The next one is the front 4 dodge heavy, which is Nature's Wrath. This does around 22 damage and costs 12 stamina. It's not that bad of an attack. It's pretty good. The only downside is that it's up on the top and people will tend to parry this. I would say it's a good 4s mechanic that you can use. Now in 1s, it depends on the person if they parry it or if they crush and counter it. So you just gotta really be careful whenever trying to throw this out in 1s, because some people will expect it. Either they'll expect it or they'll just react to it. It really depends. And the next dodge attack is the side dodge attack, which is the Swift Strike. So this is a Swift Strike. Every Kensei sometimes will spam this Swift Strike. It's light parryable. It's no longer heavy parryable like it was before, but it's light parryable, which is honestly good since it does take away that spam priority that a lot of Kenseis would have done if it was heavy parryable. But it does around 16 damage and it costs 12 stamina, so it's not that bad of a side dodge attack. Highly would recommend using this if the opponent either whiffs their attack, or like a bash or a heavy or a light, they whiff it, you can go straight for a side dodge if you want to. Alright, the next thing I'm going to be going over for Kensei are the heavy cancels. So with Kensei, you can cancel basically a heavy out and go for another heavy on a different direction. So say like I do this, top heavy, feint it, well I wouldn't feint it, but cancel it and going onto the left side for a left heavy. That's pretty much what you would do. All you gotta do is just press heavy and then move to a different direction and press heavy again at the same time as you move the different direction to get this out. And you can also do it on the second very heavy as well to get a good mix going. When it comes to Kensei, Kensei is just really good in the mix-up game, which I like honestly about Kensei. It's just so good to mix this up a lot and to go for something different. And you can also feint these too. You can feint the cancels as well. And it's not just heavies that you can go for. You can also go for lights as well after. So after the top heavy, you can go for like side lights. It's honestly insane. Even on the second top heavy, you can go for a light to mix it up. This is why I like Kensei, just for that, dude. But if you have any more questions about the cancels, leave it in the comments. I'll be willing to do my best to answer them as best I can. And if you want to join my Discord for more help and whatnot, feel free to join the Discord. Me and my Raptor pack will be willing to help you. Alright, the next move is Kensei Zone. So it does around 13 damage on the left side and 16 damage if you hit them again on the left side too. And it does cost 30 stamina. It's really good for crowd control in my opinion, man. In 1s, you can definitely use this to finish your opponent off if they're very low. However, I wouldn't try to spam this in 1s, as people will either try to react to it. And this is Kensei's running attack. It does around 20 damage on the right side and costs 20 stamina. Oh, and also Kensei does have an unblockable top heavy, which does around 34 damage. And Kensei also has hyper armor on the side heavies that do around 30 damage if you connect them. And the hyper armor is good for trading blows with your opponent. And also one move that I did forget is that Kensei also has a deflect within the kit. This is the deflect here. So the deflect itself, I would highly recommend getting it on the top heavies, because on the sides you can't get a free GB, only on the top. So if they go for top, you just basically GB and that's it. That's how you get the deflect. You just press X right after. Now on the sides you can't do it. You just can't do it with the sides. But on top, yes. You can get a free GB by just pressing X right after you get the deflect. move into your opponent's attack here. So yeah, that's pretty. So yeah, it's pretty okay. So that's gonna pretty much do it for the entire moveset. I'm gonna go ahead and show you little bits of combos I know with Kensei. Here we go. Now, like I always say, if you have an unblockable heavy, highly suggest that you use it the first time you're facing your opponent. That's what I always say for any character that has an unblockable. All right, so this first combo here, I like to go for palm strike into light, feint it into the canceled heavy, go for a palm strike again, and let the heavy fly. So this next one, I like to go for the zone into pommel strike, going for a canceled heavy. So for this one, I like to feint the heavy into a swift strike, canceled heavy into a pommel strike, just getting more poking damage in. So this next one I don't do as much, but it's an okay one. So I like to go for zone into Nature's Wrath and feint into the canceled heavy, and that's pretty much it. I don't regularly use Nature's Wrath because it's gonna get parried in ones, but in fours it might work out, but who knows. And this one is a little bit of poking, so I like to go for zone into front four light into light, just little pokes. That's really what it is for this last one. So yeah, that's pretty much the combos that I know with Kensei. Now again, you can always come up with your own combos and mix-ups to make it work for you. Okay, Starter Raptor. You can always come up with your own combos that fit your playstyle. Since we went over that, now we're gonna go ahead and go straight into the feats and the gear perks for Kensei. Let's do it. Okay, so we would usually go over the entire feats for every character in For Honor, but I'm gonna do it a bit different. I'm gonna basically show you what I usually use for 4v4s, so let's say like Breach, Dominion, Elimination, etc. And I'm gonna just show y'all what I usually use for me. This is what I use for Kensei. So if you want all the information for all the feats for Kensei, the link for the information hub will be in my description. Here is what I go with. So for the first one, I go for fast recovery. The reason why I want fast recovery is because I want my stamina to be regenerating faster. Every time that I'm like out there trying to fight, I want my stamina back. For tier 2, I want chill and stare because I want to lower the enemy's defenses and I want to make sure that they are dead. I make sure to have this on. I make sure to have this to make sure that they are dead and they stay dead, really, with chill and stare. And for the third one, I go for longbow. Longbow really is decisive for me because I'll sometimes go for steadfast or longbow, but longbow for me, I tend to take it just to get more damage. And the final one here, I got Aerostorm. I take Aerostorm just for minion lane. That's all I take Aerostorm for. Now, if I was playing Breach, I would be taking Stalwart Banner for Breach. And I only take Aerostorm for Dominion because of the minion lane. I'll take Stalwart Banner for Breach if I'm playing Breach, or if I'm playing Elim, I'll take Unblockable just to finish my opponent off very quickly. You can take whichever you want, honestly. Alright, so for the gear perks, I'm going to still do the overview for the gear perks. So here we go. For the first one, we got Shields Up. When revived, receive a temporary plus 25 health shield. For the second one, we got Aegis. All shields received are increased by 20%. For the third one, we got Devour. Upon execution, healing additional plus 10 health. And for the fourth one, we got Endurance. When gaining a renown level, receive 3% stamina cost reduction. Fifth one, we got Survival Instinct. When in critical health, gain 25% stamina cost reduction. Sixth one, we got Headhunter. For each unique player/bot hero executed, increase the max health by 4. And then for the seventh one, we got Fresh Focus. When out of stamina, counter guard breaks, blocks, and parries regenerate 20% stamina. Again, if you want information to all the feats and the gear perks for Kensei, the link for the information hub will be in my description below. Alright, so here I am doing a little voiceover over this duel here because there was some copyrighted music and stuff. So yeah, I'm facing a Valkyrie. So as you can see, I'm playing a bit defensive with Kensei, but I'm also throwing in my pommel strike as best I can. I always throw in the pommel strike, or I try to fake to go for pommel strike sometimes, but I was throwing the pommel strike a little too much doing this, and I ended up paying the price for it big time, again, light parried. So this Valkyrie was honestly whooping me the first half, honestly. I was not having a good time, but I got this guard break here, and I was able to get some damage. But even then, I was still having a bit of a time trying to get this Valkyrie. It really was just a bit tough for me to do it. But she was getting some lights in, and she, with this bash here, was able to get the Swift Strike going. I was able to get this GB, which is awesome. And I tried to let it fly, but she dodged it, and yep, secured that big time. Secured the victory. So yeah, she had the reactions and whatnot, so that was my fault. Here we are for round 2 against the Valkyrie. So I know round 1 was a bit too much with the pommel strike, so I want to try and do a little bit of different stuff. Try to use those cancels to my advantage in this round here. So I was able to get that pommel strike and got that cancel there with the hype armor, just beautiful. And I was able to get another cancel with the light, and this Valkyrie was just trying to get a little poking in with that light too. I went for my cancel, feinted it, Just really taking my time and biding my time, really. I'm trying to be a bit defensive instead of being very offensive with Kensei. Just the best defense brings out the best offense, in my opinion. So I tried to go for that cancel. I really want to let it fly, but I canceled it. Then the Valkyrie, she went for a sweep, got me with it. She's out of stamina, and I was able to get that GB off and get that big damage heavy, but I'm out of stamina. So I have to like lock in here and be defensive. So that's what I was doing, and I was doing really good at it. I was being really good at it and whatnot. But I was trying to get some cool stuff going, but then there was some like lagginess or something right there, but I was able to get the W though. And here we are for round 3. Now, round 3, honestly, I enjoyed this round. This round was my favorite. Valkyrie, she whiffed that GB, able to get some damage, let that canceled heavy fly, and it was good, beautiful. I love letting it fly. It was always satisfying. She got this GB on me big time, and I went for my pommel strike trying to get something. Got the GB a little bit right here, got this GB, and I let that fly again, always satisfying, and I was able to get another one on this Valkyrie. Bro, this Valkyrie is having a hard time with me, man. Round 3 victory. All right, so here we are for round 4 against the Valkyrie, man. So man, round 4 was my favorite. I just looking back at it, it was. So this Valkyrie tried to go for a sweep, didn't work out. Tried to get my GB, it didn't work out either. She whiffed her bash. I go for my Swiss strike, tried to go for cancel, blocked it, and she was trying to get something going. She was trying to get those lights in. It wasn't working. Got my canceled heavy off, and she got me with that pin. I got her back with the deflect. It was beautiful. I enjoyed it. Once I get that deflect, it was on. Let that unblockable fly, got some big damage. She went for her bash, got a little damage off, got my heavy in off of a bad GB read, and that was game right there, baby. Valkyrie's mix-ups are just so good in duels. She's just a really great duelist overall, dude. That's gonna do it for today's video, everybody. I hope this video does help you understand Kensei and For Honor if you are new or returning into For Honor. Now, with Kensei, I would say that Kensei is better in ones, in my opinion. I mean, fours, you can still make her work in fours. I just feel like she's better as a duelist. When it comes down to there's 1v1 in somebody, the mix-up game with Kensei is just beautiful. It really is. That's just my opinion on where I say Kensei would be in 1v1s and whatnot. Now, if I were to say in a tier list, okay, so if I say a tier list for ones, I would say Kensei's in the B tier. I just feel like Kensei's in like high B, kind of low A, around there. Now in 4v4, I would say probably B or C, like somewhere around there. I just feel like Kensei in fours just kind of suffers. I don't know, just that's just to me, honestly. Like I say, just B and C for fours, and probably B to high A around duels and whatnot. But I want to know what you guys think. Where would you place Kensei in your own tier list? Let me know in the comments down below. But if you did make it to the end of the video, thank you so much for enjoying this video, and appreciate your support big time. Let's try to get this video to 50 likes if we can, guys. And also, I am doing Elden Ring here on my YouTube channel, so hopefully it does well and we continue to grow as a Raptor Pack, man. But yeah, guys, as always, I'm the Game Raptor. Stay well, Raptor Pack, and I will see you guys in the next video. All right, guys, peace out.